What's up, yins, guys? Welcome back to Fishing PA. You know, we're almost into winter here in the state of Pennsylvania, and the one thing I started thinking about was winter maintenance, not only for my rods and my reels and my tackle, but really my fishing lures. And the one thing that I really start to focus on this time of year is kind of preparing my gear for the spring. I prepare it for winter storage, making sure everything is sealed away properly, so I know my gear is going to be good for next year. But there are things that you can do in the wintertime, in addition to research, to kind of keep busy on your fishing gear and put yourself in a really good position for next year. And that's what I want to talk about for a few minutes. I want to talk about increasing your hookup percentages with your fishing lures. Now, there are typically two things that I do in winter. Number one being sharpening hooks. Now, number two can be somewhat controversial. Some people believe in this, some people don't. But the art of T-boning hooks in order to increase hookup percentages is another thing that I've been looking at to accomplish with some of my lures in order to kind of help me get ready to hook up with more fish next season. So with that said, I want to talk about sharpening hooks and the importance of sharpening hooks, give you guys a quick demo, and I also want to talk about T-boning your hooks, because I think it's worth you guys looking into, as I'm kind of a believer that T-boning your hooks does in fact increase your hookup percentages. Alright guys, first and foremost, I want to talk about sharpening your hooks. Now, sharpening hooks is critically important for you guys as anglers. The reason for that is a sharp hook increases your hookup percentage. Now, the sharper a hook is, the more likely you are to hook that fish. Whether it's a pike, a muskie, or a bass, it doesn't matter. Sharp hooks catch fish. So with that said, how do we do this? There's a lot of documentation out there. We're going to use this article here on how to properly sharpen a fish hook. Now, there are many tools out there to sharpen fish hooks. You have single shank type sharpeners like this, and you have like double shank type sharpeners like that. Now this one just so happens to be a custom hook sharpener from Leo Lures. This retails for about 15 bucks, where this retails for about 10 bucks. The difference though is the Leos or any other type of sharpener that's like this will help you guys increase your productivity when sharpening hooks. So check these tools out. Again, this will retail for about 10 bucks at your local Cabela's or Dick's or wherever sporting goods store. They're readily available, but this tool here, if you can find these, it's worth the extra money in order to help you guys be more efficient. Now, when you have your brand new lure out of the box, these hooks are not sharp by default. So you guys need to, when you buy a new lure, you need to make sure you sharpen these hooks. So the best way to do this is to take your lure and secure the hook. So whether that's by the shank here or by the side of the hook here, as long as you can secure this, you want to point the tip away from you. So as long as the tip is pointed away from you like that, you're going to be good to start. So you're going to take a tool like this, and you're always going to take this hook sharpener and you're always going to work it towards the tip of the hook. You're never going to want to pull it back towards you, because if you pull it back towards you, you're going to be dulling that hook and probably doing some damage to it. So the hook is pointed away. You're going to take your sharpener, and the key here is to make long strides towards the point. You don't want to sit there and like hack at the bait or hack at the hook all the way around, because all that's going to do is really, it's going to weaken the tip of the hook. So again, long strides like this. You want to take it and you want to just make long strides. You guys can make long strides. Sometimes with these tools, you have to kind of work around the hook to sharpen it. So you want to come to the side and you want to work up. But again, long strides. You guys make long strides there. It's going to keep this hook sharp. Now, this tool, this is awesome. I told you this before, this increases productivity. The reason for that is you take this, you put that in the middle of the two, and you literally push towards the tip. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm sharp. So this tool will help you guys sharpen your hooks a lot more quickly, especially if you have a lot of lures to do. This is a great thing for you guys to do in the winter. Before we talk about that, the way you guys test to make sure that this hook is sharp is you take this and you run it on top of your thumbnail. If that lure scratches your thumbnail and it's kind of getting hung up as you drag it across, that hook is sharp. If it slides across the top of your thumbnail, you guys need to keep going. Keep sharpening until you can get that to kind of scratch the top and get hung up on your nail. So, this is a great thing for you guys to do in the winter. It's cold outside. You're going to be messing around with your tackle. If you guys can go and sharpen your hooks in the winter, that's one less thing you guys have to do for spring. Plus, it helps you increase your hookup percentages. Why wouldn't you do it? So make sure you guys check out how to sharpen your hooks, find the right tool, get these things sharp, and that way you guys can catch more fish come spring. All right, guys, one other thing that I want to talk about. Now, it's somewhat controversial. A lot of guys have different opinions on this. The topic is the art of T-boning your fishing hooks on your fishing lures. Now, T-boning theoretically gets the hook away from the body of the lure, and it should help increase hookup percentages. In addition to that, it's designed to really prevent hook rash, particularly when you guys are trolling and trolling at high speeds. So how many musky fishermen that I have out there that do some trolling? You guys have probably seen this, especially if you're getting up over 5 miles per hour. Now, I'll show you an example. I have this awesome 22 short. And as you guys can see, right in the front of the lure, I have some hook rash. That is from trolling this bait over 5 miles an hour. And I do not have this particular bait T-boned. So, whenever I see this, you know, I'm obviously looking for an answer to protect my pretty paint jobs on my lures. So, T-boning is really designed to increase hookup percentages and to protect those pretty baits from hook rash. Okay, so the art of T-boning, really what that means is it means taking 2 treble hooks and bending them flat to make a T. So that when you set the treble hook on a table, you have a flat T for 2 out of the 3. In the way that you guys do this, all right, so you take a bait like this, and you basically hold this bait vertically. And whatever 2 hooks fall against the bait naturally are the 2 hooks that you guys want to bend. So I'm going to take this out flush, I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm essentially going to take them and I'm going to squeeze or pinch these 2 particular hooks in flat. And I'm going to just hold this for a second, and then we're going to kind of repeat the process. Okay. So eventually you're going to be able to get these flat. Now what it's going to look like, it's going to look like that. So when this falls against the lure, the edge of the hooks is not rubbing up against the paint job to ruin the paint job. Okay, in addition to that, when this bait is moving through the water, and this hook is back up against the body like this, those hooks are actually going to be further out away from the body, so when a fish comes in to T-bone this bait, in theory, you should get a higher hookup percentage because those hooks are away from the body of the bait and now they're more readily available to hit that fish's mouth. So, what hooks on a bait do you guys need to T-bone? Well, it's only the hooks that are going to be touching the body. So when I have a 3-hooked bait like this, the only 2 trebles I'm going to try to T-bone is going to be this hook and this hook. This hook is away from the body. I do not need to T-bone this. So again, I'm going to hold my bait vertically. I'm going to pull this out. Those are going to be the 2 that I want to T-bone. I'm just going to take my pliers and I'm just going to press down on the hooks. And I'm going to do the same for that. So that same thing, naturally, I'm going to pull this out and I'm just going to pinch this down. Now I will say this, there is a potential for you guys to break a hook off. I have not done it yet, but there's a potential for that to happen. So just be cognizant of that. You want to take your time with this. You guys want to make sure you sharpen your hooks and really take some time to T-bone them. It's going to protect that pretty paint job and it's going to help you guys increase your hookup ratios and percentages for next year. All right, boys and girls, hopefully I gave you guys some good information regarding sharpening your hooks and T-boning your hooks in order to prevent against hook rash and also to increase your hookup percentages. Now, if you guys have an opinion on this, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'm really interested to see how many of you guys are taking the time to sharpen and T-bone your hooks on your fishing lures. Now, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you guys like the content overall, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to ring that bell to get all the new content that I'm going to be putting out this winter. All right, guys and girls, I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you all for watching. Tight lines. See you next time.
I was excited.
Oh, you got me so amped up. Why did you do that? How many times have I done that? Like this morning, I'm like, fish, nope, weed.